to the student section. I'm Amira, Samih.
And I'm Loschiavo.
Today we have with us girls basketball captains Samara Thacker, Cali Jolley, and Pam Ellison. Yesterday they had their first game at Bunnell High School, and the score was
67-36.
How do you think the game went against Bunnell yesterday?
I think we came out with great energy. We started the game off like
high intensity.
High intensity, and we weren't really focused on like executing every little thing. We just focused on running the floor and just doing the best we can.
And I think another really good thing about for it being our first game last night is that shout out Valen Andriola's had like 25 points, but besides that, like, all of us were scoring, all of us were playing good defense. It's not like one person was carrying the team, like, we were all contributing, which is good.
Yeah. And it's hard to defend a team that can all score.
Yeah.
So I think that playing your own game and coming out with really, like, nothing to be like, okay, this get down on each other, just coming out with positive attitude throughout the whole game.
And it's really good because, Maddie Lula, she's a sophomore this year, like, she started for us last night, and she came out, like, really aggressive, and so like, it just showed how, like, not just, like, the four captains came out being aggressive. Like, everybody else, like, all the underclassmen who played, too, came out really aggressive. So, like, overall, like, we were all playing really good.
What do you think will be your biggest challenge this year as a team?
Our height.
Yeah. I think the tallest person on our team is, like, 5'10".
Yeah, we have, I mean, it's not like a lot of other teams have a bunch of tall people, but most teams have at least one, like, decently tall person, but all of us are pretty short. But, I mean, we're okay with that being our worst downfall because
we're really fast, we play smart, we're skillful, so height obviously comes into play because it's basketball, but, like, it's not, like, a huge factor to we're like, oh my god, we can't win games and stuff like that, so it's kind of like, and I also think, like, another struggle might be, like, just trying to stay positive, like, through the entire 20 game
positive
season.
attitudes. Like, if we're down or if a single player is down on themselves because they're not making baskets or not, working as hard or just, like, down on themselves, I think that, like, picking each other up would have to be a big thing this year, especially if we want to go really far.
So you're saying that's your biggest challenge this season? So
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
You just answer that question.
That was just not what I said.
What?
What are you looking forward to this season?
I'm looking forward to kind of, like, showing people that, like, we're not, like...
That we didn't just have one good season.
Yeah. I want to show people how, like, we're a hardworking team and we're not just going to, like, be one of the right down the middle, like, okay, decent teams. Like, we want to make the state tournament. We want to go far in the state tournament. And we want to, like, have a really good record and take pride in our team, kind of.
I think we're going to surprise a lot of other teams because we may, like, have, like, a good starting five, but there's a lot of, like, the younger girls that are really stepping up into play and really, like, working really hard, and it's really showing because they look like an upperclassman, and it doesn't really matter what grade you're in as long as you go on the court with an open mind and you know how to play the game.
What does a typical girls' basketball practice look like?
Well, we have practice right after school. We start going in the gym at 2:15. So first we meet in Miss Young's room, and then we go in the gym and we stretch. Then we do, like, ball handling drills. And then after we kind of just go right into it, like...
We kind of just work on our offense and defense. Like, just depends, like, what team we're playing that week and what their, like, biggest thing is.
Like, their strengths and,
their strengths and weaknesses.
Now that we have started, like, the regular season, usually, like, we always do a little bit of conditioning, but then we work on the offense and defense specific to the team we're about to play. Like, well, if they have a really good shooter, we'll put someone on offense saying, you'll be the really good shooter, so we'll, like, focus on them. And then we watch film, too, like, on the other team, so we know what to expect going into
And every practice, he makes sure, like, we have, like, a certain time period to just get, like, shots up and do free throws, because, like,
it's really
that's
important
a big thing to do every day, so we can get in, like, a good rhythm.
We also have, like, controlled scrimmages, which is, like, exactly, like, game situations. So if there's 7 seconds on the clock and we're down 4 or 6, just to know how to go, like, through that instead of being, like, what am I doing in the game, like, panicking. So we're trying to prevent the panic as possible and trying to, like, really work on, like, staying calm the whole time.
Yeah.
Since you guys are all captains, what do you do to help your team members?
I think the biggest thing is
Positive attitudes.
Yeah, positive attitudes and like getting everyone involved, like who's on the team. So like, it's not just like in past years, kind of the captains were kind of just like,
It's been like
we're
a 5-man
seniors,
show type thing.
So like, and we know this year like we're not gonna be successful unless like everyone's involved and everyone's stepping up. So like we kind of make it known to everyone that we need everyone and that everyone needs to like come together.
And like including everyone else into like just pasta parties or like get-togethers before a game, like eating food, like those little things will help on the court because no one's gonna feel like awkward enough to like, hey, I need help with that, or like just to ask us a question because past years we've been like discluded on certain stuff like that.
Yeah, like our freshman year, me and Samara, we had 6 seniors and 2 freshmen on varsity, and we knew what it felt like to be like, we were on the team, but we never really felt like a big part of the team. And we we make it a point to let the underclassmen know that they're like just as important. Like it doesn't matter that we're seniors. Like we want them to like improve. We want them to score points. We want them to like feel included.
How do you think a starting lineup of I can't read that.
How do you think a starting lineup of primarily seniors affects how you play together?
I think it's a good thing, only because we've all been playing together for so long that we just like know each other so well, and it just like gives us, I think, a step up on some other teams that's like a mixture of all new people and stuff. So that's like a good part of it, but also the fact that even though we're all seniors starting, it's good for this year. But obviously, once we leave, like you don't want all the underclassmen to have never seen the court, and then having to start varsity. So like. It's also good that we have the 4 seniors, but we also have a lot of the underclassmen.
And also, like, it's just good that we have a good chemistry on and off the court, and so like, pretty much we've all been together since like 7th, 8th grade. Like we were playing on the same travel team together, so like we know what each person plays, and also we've been the 4 starters since sophomore year. So like every year we get better and better, but it's just good like. Knowing that like we know like how each other play, and like other teams like they'll have like a different lineup every game or something like that, so like we don't have to worry about that.
We both know, like we just all know like when someone's down or like what, like we could just like see it in their faces, like so we just be like going up to them like as soon as in the game or like a team huddle in the game, we're like, okay, shake it off, like stop getting in your head, because we just know like each other that well.
And I think the best part of it honestly is just that we've all been through so much together, like especially like in basketball too. Like our sophomore year, we were like really bad, and we went through a lot of tough games and stuff.
Like we only won 5 games, but then we also went to last year when we won 14 games.
So we all just have like the same understanding of the sport and what we want to get done. So it's nice.
Well, we'll make this season successful.
Always working hard at practice will help, because even working on like our offensive stuff, like that's going to be a key factor obviously in a game, but just knowing like what you need to work on and like bouncing back on each other and picking each other up, and not like, you know, just working together on the court and off the court.
And also I think what's going to make us successful this year is shout out Mr. Young. He kind of changed practices a little bit the way it used to be previous years. It's like a huge, because like in a basketball game, you can't just depend on like we're going to make all these threes today and win our game. Like what you can't control if you're going to be on or off on offense. It's about like defense is something you can control every game. So he's been making it a point that we have like really good defense, and even like my parents and probably other parents too after the game yesterday was like, your defense is so much better. And then we also work on, he has like this football pad, and he'll hit us with it and stuff while we're trying to score, to make us like, and it's helped us so much because all of us are scoring a lot more from the inside instead of just depending on shooting a bunch of far shots.
And also I think what's gonna like set us apart from like the average teams to like, so we can like be called like one of the better teams like an SEC, is like being able to like not only beat like teams like Bunnell, but also like competing against like the better teams like Mercy, Sheehan, like that's gonna like set us apart from like just an average team.
Beating them.
Yeah.
Competing with them.
You know what I mean.
What's the biggest piece of advice you could give to new team members?
I would say just to trust. I would say trust your upperclassmen and trust your coach. Like sometimes, like when you first come on the team, you're like, "What is this?" Like you just don't understand some of the things, but like you just have to go with the flow, and you'll start picking things up, and it'll like.
But also,
work
don't
out.
second guess yourself. Like, there's some underclassmen that don't think that they're capable of what they can do. Like, we've had like so many underclassmen yesterday, and some upperclassmen came on the court, and it was just like, who are they? Like, it was just that type of thing that, like, that mental like mindset. Just gotta like switch it on. Like, you can do it. Just have that positive attitude.
Age doesn't matter in a sport. Like,
Exactly.
you can't think about that.
Okay, thank you, Samira, Cali, and Pam for being with us this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.